places to drive. Laredo's probably, I'd probably rate that right up there with LA, because the driving culture down here for truck drivers specifically is horrible. People don't care about laws. Half the trucks down here would not pass a DOT inspection. They're duct taped together, baling wire, just keeping them going, smoking, leaning to one side. It is horrible. And I've driven all over the world. I've driven in many, many different countries. And driving in the U.S. is, compared to everywhere else, is very nice. Believe it or not, people in the U.S. are far more considerate. The laws are far better than anywhere else. Anywhere else, it's just it's kind of a free-for-all. They don't use brakes; they use their horn, and that's the kind of the culture here in Laredo. Even with truck drivers, and they, you can be parked at a light, and these guys will pass you on the right side doing 60 miles an hour on the shoulder. Amazing. Okay, check this. Good to go. I don't know how I'm ever, if I'm ever gonna switch up from power only. Was off there for a couple weeks, got out there and hooked up to a trailer, did my inspection. In less than 10 minutes I'm rolling again. And well, when I got back in the truck just now, I had to think, did I forget anything? Because it was so easy. Normally I did flatbed for several years, and you can't just pull off when you're doing flatbed. You better make sure everything's perfect. You better stop every so often. And it's kind of ingrained into me to check everything. And even though I don't take very long to check these trailers, on this little route that I do quite often, I'm using the same trailers over and over. So at a glance, I can see if they fixed anything I've turned it in for before. And got a lot of air going back. Oh, this guy's just going to cut right in front of me. But yeah, so power only is so easy, but it's also easy to make a mistake too, just like anything else. Like I said, it took less than 10 minutes for me to get out, pick up the airlines, and go around and inspect the trailer. But that was more than enough time to actually do it 1.5 times. So, I tell you what, if I captured it, I'm heading out, and this guy just decides to cut in front of me. Of course, he wasn't ready to check out of the gate. Didn't have his doors open, didn't have his paperwork ready, and it's taking him that long to walk back up to the front of his truck. Oh man, if you're gonna cut in front of somebody, you better make sure that you're not gonna take a very short period of time. Know for certain that you're gonna get out of there faster than they will, because it's just inconsiderate. Wow. All I have to do is sign my paperwork and I'm gone. This guy, instead of opening his doors like he knew, when you're leaving one of these places, he didn't. Okay, so not only did this guy cut in front of me, wasn't ready to check out, then he stops in the middle of the driveway. People, be prepared. Don't depend on everybody else to do your job for you. Unbelievable. Okay, so here's a great idea that I just thought of. Get a big board, a piece of paper or metal of some type, and put words on it and call it a sign that tells you where to go. I'm here in Laredo trying to get a trailer inspection because I got to drop this trailer. It's going across the border. I pull into a terminal and the first guy, he just points. I don't know if he could speak English or not. He just points, and I said, do I need to go over there? And he just points. I didn't know what the hell that meant. So I went over there, and there was an inspection bay, but it was for truck inspections. So I finally found someone else, and this guy's going in the wrong direction. So I finally found someone else who's eating breakfast, and they said, go over here. And I was like, what? Where is over here? Yeah, you need to go to the other yard over there with the other bays. I said, okay, well, how do I get there? This is, but man, what a fiasco. Something so easy. I'm going to assume that I need to pull into one of these bays. You know what happens when you make assumptions. But we shall see. I'm not sure, but this is probably the wrong place. But I'm going to pull in here and make somebody do something. Because I see a lot of people standing around. When I pulled up the other bay, there was actually a guy sitting in there. And as soon as I pulled up, he disappeared. Imagine that. All right, let's get out and get something done. Oh my goodness. What? You know what? It was a fiasco. What should have been a 20-minute job turned into an hour. But I'm still not complaining. It's not bad. But so I was supposed to drop this or take this trailer to get it inspected, to go across the border, and so after I get it inspected, I take it over to a drop yard. The address they gave me were a mile apart. Well, it turns out the addresses they gave me were both for the exact same company. One was the drop yard. Then they said, oh yeah, well, you're at the place where the inspection site is. And I turned around and looked and I said, yes, I'm at the border. where drivers who are going across the border get the truck inspected. I was literally a few hundred feet from the border where they inspect, the trucks and trailers going across. So after, making several phone calls, finally got it, they said, oh, you should have taken it over to our terminal. So I get over to the terminal, and then all, complications ensue. They normally do inspections at this building on certain days, and then they want to send people over here on certain days. So it just wasn't a big deal. I wasted about 35 minutes. Went about 14 miles out of the way. See if this guy's gonna let me out. This is the guy that couldn't, I don't know if he could speak English before or not. So really, not that big of a deal, but somebody should have had this, obviously people have done this run before. So why they didn't have it ironed out, it's a simple process. According to the guy who did the trailer inspections, for their company drivers, they send them a message on the Qualcomm says, go here first to get the trailer inspected. So, but it took him like 2 minutes to look at the trailer. All he did was look at the lights and listen for air leaks. And I got my inspection sheet. But man, talking about, just making things complicated for no reason other than somebody not wanting to stop, take 30 seconds out of their day to give clear, concise instructions. It's amazing. This is a brand new trailer, Inland. It looks like pretty good construction. Brand spanking new. I just brought it from the border. I don't know what kind of tires those are. What does it say? Long track. Real nice trailer. If you want to know where you can get them, let me see if I can get Alamo Trailer Sales. Well, trying to maximize my earnings here. So what I did was I brought a load down here to Laredo, dropped the trailer. They want me to go, which I have another load for Monday, but I'm supposed to take this empty trailer. I'm supposed to pick up an empty trailer and take it back, but they didn't want me to pick it up in Laredo. They wanted me to pick it up in San Antonio. So what I did was, instead of just bobtailing to San Antonio, I found an empty loadout, or not loadout, but a tollway trailer for power only from Laredo to San Antonio, so that I'm not wasting any time, actually making a little bit of change, not much, but hopefully it'll work out. It won't hang me up. Well, it is another beautiful morning. Allergies are in full effect. Look at these trees just full pollen, waiting for the wind to blow. Doesn't have to wait, it's already getting to me. I scared all the little birdies away. But yeah, so just enjoying the morning. Got my oh my god it's Santa cup. Yeah, last night I wake up at the slightest sounds. So last night I heard this sound. Can you hear that? That is our little doggy door right there. It has a little magnet at the bottom, so when it opens, you hear that flapping sound. So last night, well, this morning about 4 o'clock, I woke up to that noise. And I'm always worried about this because when I leave home, you know, you're always worried about how people can get in the house. But we have a camera right here, and cameras around the house and floodlights and stuff. So, but for some reason yesterday, we were working around the house and I disarmed the cameras so they wouldn't keep going off, and I forgot to arm them. So this morning I didn't get an alert that anything was come up to the back door, and I heard that sound. So I jumped up getting ready to karate chop somebody, and I saw the floodlights. I also have floodlights, motion detected out here, and I snuck in here, and a gray tomcat was looking at me through the door. So he wanted to sneak up here and visit. We have a couple of cats in the house. He wanted to sneak in and visit, but I didn't get a chance to put a hurting on him. I have a little Daisy BB gun I use for just such occasions. It won't hurt him, but it'll scare him pretty good. This is what we're doing. I've been out here for a little while drinking some coffee. The birds are kind of mad because I scared them off all the food. We got a little couple of truck projects to do. But last week I wouldn't call it a bust, but it was just one of those weeks where it didn't work out quite perfectly. Didn't leave the house till Wednesday mid-morning, and I did one of my little short runs, and it worked out real good because it kind of worked right into another load with the same agent, and I was able to use a trailer that I had just used on the previous run to do a live load and head down to Laredo. And I was supposed to pick up a loadout trailer, but when I got down there wasn't any trailers in Laredo, so they said, hey, just run over to San Antonio, and they gave me an address. And so in order to make a little bit more money, I picked up a power only load and empty a brand new trailer that was going from Laredo to San Antonio. Made a quick $400 getting back. And booked since I had a loadout trailer, I thought I was going to have one. I booked a load that was going straight back to where I needed to return the trailer. It's going to work out perfect. And so I went to the first address, no loadout trailer. Called him up, told him, and they said, hey, go over to this next address. And by this time, it's about 4:30. So I run over to the next address, and the trailer they gave me was loaded. There was no other empty trailers there, so they were scrambling to find me a trailer. And the agent, who usually really takes care of me, called me and said, hey, what do you want to do on this? You know, I don't want to leave you hanging, but we're not able to find a trailer right now. And like I said, and by this time it's about 5:30 on a Friday evening. So I said, you know what, don't worry about it. I'll just head to the house unless you just need me to backfill that trailer at some point. He said, no, don't worry about it. We'll get it figured out. You go ahead and go to the house. So it didn't work out as far as money goes, but I got to the house. Spend some time with the family. Gonna take care of a couple of truck projects today, maybe, if I don't get lazy. But that's, you can expect those things. Sometimes it doesn't work out perfectly. It would have been, you know, an extra little over $1,000 if I would have gotten that loadout trailer and another load. But that's the way things go sometimes. Yeah, the little birdies are all up there looking at me, waiting for me to move so they can get back to their food.